Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dota Yoshi, bringing to you another Dota 2 presentation, and today we have something a little different. This was me in a pub, so I'll be casting a pub match I did do. Quite fun. I was playing with my friend, this guy, which has been played on this Nyx Assassin. His name's Jim, and he is from Jim and Nathan Do the Game, so head there and check him out. Quite a good channel. Good guy. So, over here, we do have... Well, I'll introduce the teams as the Radiant do decide to do Roshan. So we have, on the Storm Suit, Anthony Lee. On the Lone Druid, we have being played by Pools. On the Dazzle, NJ. On the Nature's Prophet, we have Albacross. And finally, on Doom, we have been played by Liquid T1000. So they are working on that, Roshan. And the star of the show, Dota Yoshi, being played on that Chen, warding up like a boss. We do have the Templar Assassin being played by Zetais. Over on this mid row we have Sergeant Snowballs on the Magnus. We have Shadow Shaman playing on that MILF. MILF playing on that Shadow Shaman. And Nyx Assassin being played by this guy. So Radiant do pick up that Roshan kill, and the token does go to Lone Druid. And yeah, now we're in for the start of the game. There's not too much to talk about here. You've got the standard pub 2-2-1. Both side has a jungler, so there will be a solo up top. Nature's Prophet against that Templar Assassin. Down in bottom lane here. Apparently Lone Druid's just AFK, switching, giving him some iron branches from the bear. Now they're going to turn around and look to fight, do a bit of damage, and power comes flying out. Now, will they be able to pick off this bear? The bear is not going to go down, it's going to survive with 10 HP. That's unfortunate. Would have helped out quite a bit there. Doom, he's picked up the Wildkin, so this should help if he does decide to do some stacks in the forest. Stack it 2, 3, maybe 4 camps, and you can just sit there with your tornado. Clean up those 4 camps without taking a single point in damage. It's a fantastic ability to pick up as that Doom. Or even if you're me with the Chen, if I do decide to pick up a Wildkin, but I do however pick up a Satyr, and we'll be working towards killing this small camp, so I'm not doing anything interesting. Pretty passive coming from all lanes at the moment, so I'm sure it does now pick up his bottle. Just got his fairly early bottle. Will be bottling up, picking up that illusion room at top rune. He is currently winning in the CS chart, sitting on 10-0. While their offlaner of that Nature's Prophet will be 9-4, sitting second highest with Magnus coming third. So look at the net worth. Our team is quite far behind, as we did not pick up that Roshan as one bugger of a team did. But however, they don't have any wards out on the map, and we do have MILF. He might be giving away first blood here. Did he get the first blood? Yes, the first blood goes to that Lone Druid. So MILF being caught out of position, looking to ward, does not able to get that ward off, and they find a pickup on him. So Radiant are now 1-0 ahead on that scoreboard, forcing that Nyx Assassin back off the lane. But as I was saying, Shaman's got 59 gold because he does have consumables and wards on him, being able to help scan out the runes for our team. Magnus has a regen in the bottle, so he should be able to regen his way back up to full health, throw out a shockwave to try and keep his mana down, regening. So good work by that. And we do have another initiation down the bottom. This guy, the Nyx Assassin, dying to the Radiant, whereas they do pick up a kill on that Dazzle, going towards that Shadow Shaman. So unfortunately I missed that. A bit of a downer. Storm Spirit looking around for a rune. They do not have any wards up, so he can't check them. Even though they should have probably had vision, quite possibly from the spare. Yeah, he would have had vision, but Storm Spirit just a little out of it at the moment. Not watching quite too much of what he's doing. Dazzle TPing down bottom lane. Doesn't have any wards. He's got a boots, so support does not want to buy wards. Who buys wards these days? And now, what's that called? Poison touch coming out to the next assassin, but the bear is not going to try and attack. He's got boots up and running. He doesn't have the typical orb of venom, sorry, up and running onto that bear. So it's a bit of an unusual pickup, or a bit of a miss pickup on that spirit bear, not having that orb of venom. Magnus bottles a haste rune, so he's got rune control over the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit doesn't have too much, and a Wildkin comes flying in by me. I completely forgot I did this. I'm forcing the Storm Spirit off the lane with that Wildkin, and giving Magnus that free farm and ability to be able to work around. So my Tornado slowly trying to come back in, doing a little bit of damage. Storm Spirit will be dropping quite low here. Magnus comes flying in, tries to skewer, misses the skewer, gets that shockwave, and it does hit. So Magnus does pick up a kill with an assist going to me. So it was completely set up by me, working my fantastic magic. And my Wildkin just standing there around like a complete dunce he is. Could have possibly used him to run in the middle and help take this tower up, try and damage this tower. However, I picked up a new creep, working on a new camp, as I do only have level 2 of that Holy Persuasion, only giving me 1 creep. And down on bottom when we have an Impale come flying out, now we're going to have an auto attack going on Dazzle. Dazzle heals up, throws out that poison toss. Carapace does not get a proper stunt off, and this Nature's Prophet Wrath comes flying through. He's TPing in. We're going to see 2 deaths, Nick's going to fall, and the Shadow Shaman will be picking up from that Dazzle. So 2 kills going in the way of the Radiant. Gonna be quite happy. Great TP support coming in by that Nature's Prophet to help out their team, and another great TP as well by that Storm Spirit. So they pick up 2 kills there. Storm Spirit is going to be quite happy sitting. Oh, he didn't pick up the kill actually. So it's still 0 for 1. Nature's Prophet 1-0-1. And now they're going to be starting to harass this bottom tower. It's likely to fall very shortly, as they do have the bear and some treants, if the treants do need to be summoned in 10 seconds. And the tower will fall, putting the graph, look at that graph, that's not pretty. 4k gold in favour of the Radiant side. And it 2.5k XP. And someone's getting a little happy though. Up at top lane, we have the Chen, being played by myself, and the Zetse trying to clean up this top tower. My creep dies, so that's not going to be any useful to this lane. So pick up a centaur, rotate back to the bottom, and down the bottom lane we do have action. We got Magnus being trapped in by that Sprout. Magnus will fall to the final auto attack of the Storm Spirit. We hear a Hex coming out onto this Nature Prophet. Nature Prophet spouts again. They're trying to finish off the final auto attacks onto Milf. Will Milf take a fall? We've got a zip coming in by Anthony Lee, picking off that Shadow Shaman. So that's another 2 kills going in the favour of the Radiant side. Storm Spirit picking up both kills there, so he's now sitting 2 for 1. Now effectively, easily winning this lane. All lanes are currently won by the side of the Radiant. And now we've got an attack coming onto Tempo Assassin. Tempo Assassin refracts. Can he get out of there? He doesn't have meld, and he will fall shortly after. He had 2 seconds left on his meld. If he could have got that meld off, he would have been happily been able to sit there for a while. Refraction charges would have been once every few seconds, while that Storm's Revenant would be on cooldown. Then we've got TP support coming in from the rest of the Radiant team. Will they be able to defend this tower? It doesn't look quite so. They've got the Dazzle here to help keep these creeps away. Shockwave's going to push them off, so they're going to have to back. And now it looks like the Lone Druid's token has run out, as it's now hit the 7.5 minute mark. Roshan will be spawning in 3 minutes time. Storm Spirit got his boots. Does he have anything coming to him on that courier? He does not. First set of wards coming out for the Radiant side for that Dazzle. He's got his arcane boots up and running, so this is one very rich support. Sitting on 2.6k, higher than every player on the Dire side at this present moment. That is not where you want to be. Sergeant Snowballs is walking around. He's got his arcane boots up and bottle, so he's going to be quite happy that he's still getting his stuff up and running. Not too far behind. Lone Druid is sitting on that 3.6k, so he's a k ahead of everyone on the side of the Dire. So in mid lane, there is a group up from that Shadow Shaman and that Nyx Assassin up against that Dazzle. Dazzle definitely playing team carry here, so he's grabbing all the farm he can get, while the rest of the team is missing. Doom is in the jungle. He's not picking up his boots from the courier yet, just sitting over there in base. He's working on trying to get him some creep kills. He's got his Troll Summoner's ability to be able to pick up that net, but now he's picked up the Centaur's stun or stomp, I should say. On this lone druid, we got tangos on the bear for some reason. This is new meta right here, getting some tangos on this bear. He's got a hatchet up and running with a shield, so fairly standard other than those tangos, and he doesn't have that orb of venom. He's sitting on 2.5k 5k gold, and not choosing to spend it all, possibly saving up for a relic, or maybe going balls to the wall and buying a Lasagna straight off the bat. So we see Dazzle's, we've been thrown out trying to reduce the armor of the heroes from the Radiant side, and now we've got a group coming in, great RP on 3, Shockwave, do we have a Skewer? Skewer not going to be able to hit on the Stormstreet, Skewer still hasn't been used, Skewer goes back on 3, into the rest of the team, Skewer was very late, so they do get picked off, they don't find a kill. So, very late Skewer means that 3 kills do not go in favor of the Dire. However, the turnaround from the Radiant team able to pick off the rest of the heroes on the side of the Dire. So now the Radiant team are sitting 9 kills to 2 deaths. This is not where you want to be if you're the Dire side. They are quite far behind, especially in the gold. The 7.5k gold in 10 minutes. And we've got a zip coming in from that Stormstreet with the double damage, attacking onto the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin's characters, he's going to be able to get out of there. He falls to the final auto attack of the Nature's Prophet. The Ursa's Warrior coming in, trying to get that clap off. Clap gets off onto the 2, onto the Dazzle, and that Lone Druid. Will they be able to find the pick? We got the Soy coming in from the Tempo Assassin. Tempo Assassin's trying to do auto attacks, not being able to find it. The Ursa Warrior's trying to come in, get their auto attacks, trying to creep block. We got need another Skewer, and the Shockwave will be able to come off and pick off this Lone Druid. Shockwave comes, Skewer comes flying in, we'll be able to see the Shockwave, Monarch up, Shockwave's got a hit on the Lone Druid will die, Hex coming out with the Shackle onto the Doom, Doom will take a final fall to the Templar Assassin, that's 2 kills going in the favour of the Dire, they're looking to dive the tower, they throw out the Impale onto the Nature's Prophet, Nature's Prophet still standing there, Nyx Assassin taking a lot of damage from that Poison Touch and the auto attack damage from the tower and the rest of the side of the Radiant, and now they're going to try and push down this tower with whatever damage they can muster up. So they do pop the glyph on the Radiant side to try and slow down this tower push. Still at half health. Are they going to continue to keep pushing? No, they are going to back off this tower. So the Dire side able to pick up a fair bit of gold off of that. Going to be slowly turning the graph back in their favour, but there's still 7k gold and XP behind. That 10 minutes in, that's a ridiculously huge margin behind they are, and the test of faith coming thrown out by Dota Yoshi, trying to keep up the members of the Dire team as that tower does now fall, trying to help pull them back into this game, taking down that tower. So it's a nice group up by the Dire side. This is what they need to do. They need to keep grouping up. They need to push down these towers. Chen is fantastic early game when he has the ability to push down these early towers, and Chen or Dota Yoshi does have his mechanism almost completed. Now he's got his enough to buy it. He does pick up that mechanism, and as the courier has died, I have no idea where that courier died, so the courier got picked off some other time, giving even more gold on to the side of the Radiant side. Magnus has gone top, he's got 900 gold onto his name, so be saving up to pick up that Blink Dagger. Once Magnus picks up that Blink Dagger, it's going to be a very fantastic initiation tool for the Dire side. And the tower will fall to the final auto attack of Doom, so he's going to be happy with that amount of money. Stormstreet zipping down bottom to pick up this invisibility rune. It's going to be able to be spotted out by the side of the Dire, as they do have 2 very placed wards, one watching any rotation into the jungle, one watching the river. So Shadow Shaman doing some good wards down bottom, being able to watch any rotation. We have Magnus could be in a lot of trouble here. Zip in, great skewer away to be able to get out of there. We've got an Impale coming in. This leaves Nyx Assassin open to be able to kill. Nature's Prophet comes in. He throws off that Sprout and Doom onto the Magnus. Magnus will fall very shortly after, and myself and the Wildkin, as well as that Templar Assassin, will be backing. So we're being pushed out of our own jungle with the Dazzle being very aggressive, working towards his mechanism of his own. Nature's Prophet has that Hand of Midas and had it for a while. He's got 1900 gold up and running on him. If we look at the net worth, Nature's Prophet sitting on 5.7k net worth. Doom on 5.6, Lone Druid on 5.3. Dazzle is even on 4k. Absolutely demolishing the rest of the side of the Dire. This game looks pretty much well and over. The Lone Druid trying to push down this bottom tower by himself. The creeps have pushed back, holding back the rest of the creeps in the lane. TP support coming in from the Templar Assassin, throws out the sun, slow, trying to find this Lone Druid. Shock comes flying out, by that Shadow Shaman. TP support coming in by the Nature's Prophet. Sprouting. Now they're still trying to chase into the forest. Hex comes off onto the Lone Druid. Another slow. The wards have been thrown out. Shot comes in. Will they be the final wave of volley off onto the Lone Druid? Nice shackle coming off by the Shadow Shaman. They will find that kill onto the Lone Druid. Now they're chasing down this Nature's Prophet. They got support coming in from the Chen from behind with that Wildkin and that Troll Ward. Will they be able to get close enough? Now Nature's Prophet's just going to TP away with very low health, so Nature's Prophet doing a great TP there. It would have been chased onto that tower and would have most likely have fallen. Top tower does fall on the side of the Dire, so Radiant are going to be happy with even more gold being thrown into their bounty. Doom walking around, he's got a little bit of mana burn picked up as his spell. Not necessarily the spell you want. You're going to be looking at diving on this Magnus. He's got Doom up in 4. Can this Magnus get away? He's got a Shockwave. He might use his... he's got a skewer, he's got a shockwave, now he's been doomed. So this is one dead Magnus if I've ever seen one. Final auto attacks, and that's a dead Magnus. Out of position, did not get out of there, used his TP, and Doom's Doom is just Doom. Doom on whoever gets thrown onto. Next assassin, wading off in the wings, does get spotted out by the Dazzle as that daytime vision is up and running. So the Radiant side have a massive ridiculous advantage. Look at them, the 10k gold ahead. This is a compendium comeback. If it was possible for the Dire side to come back, they're sitting 12 for 5, so the 7 kills behind. And they now pick up a bottom tower, so they've got 3 towers. They've even the tower scored up with the Radiant side at my mistake. But however, the Radiant have picked up a courier kill. They've got 7 kills ahead. They've got a lot of farm on their name with the top 3 creep scorers on their side. And they've had a Roshan. So everything's in the favour of the Radiant. Chen throwing a bit of wards up, trying to get some vision. They have a very aggressive ward down here, so they can't see any rotation through that jungle. If anyone does want to try and pick off them, if there was anyone farming down in the tower, which isn't happening. But it's good for that map vision. And over on the side of the Radiant, they have 2 similar aggressive wards. One with that watching that rune, and another one watching any rotation through this top lane. So, the Radiant decide to start pushing out with the Lone Druid, who's not currently in his bear form, and that Storm Spirit. There looks to be a counter initiation slowly being set up with these 2 trolls. This first troll gets entangled, and it looks like he will fall. So that's 57 gold going in favour of Nature's Prophet. He'll happily pick that up. And now they're looking to gank this Magnus. He does have that haste room, so he's going to be fine against that 5-man of the Radiant side. Storm Spirit has got his point booster and mana something, energy booster, that's the one. So he's got a lot of mana to be able to deal with, throw around, use in any situation that he likes. Dazzle does have his mechanism up and running, so it's going to be very strong, potent heals coming out by Dazzle. And now they're looking to go in to do Roshan. Both sides should know Roshan's up, as it has been over 15 minutes since the Roshan did fall. So we do see the Radiant side going for the Roshan with the Dire side watching. The Troll Warlord spots out this Dazzle, throwing it. We have an RP on 1. It hits the bear, hits the Doom, and he will get doomed. And now for the Chen's Test of Faith, Hand of God, sorry, does not get enough. The next assassin has been caught into the Sprout with a Revelation Ward. Templar assassins running, wards have been thrown out. Great shot doing a lot of damage. Storm Spirit zipping around, trying to find a kill. We got that Dazzle's, what's it called? Got his Dazzle's, I've already lost the name. Shadow Grave onto that bear, and now we see Templar Assassin. Did Templar Assassin die? Templar Assassin TP'd out of there. Oh no, got sent back by Chen's Test of Faith. So it's a nice send back by Chen to be able to keep that Templar Assassin alive. Now we've got TP support coming back in by the Magnus. RP is currently down. We got the Templar Assassin rotating in. The next Assassin's quite full. We get the Sprout onto the Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman will fall. So that's a lot of deaths so far, with the Blink coming in with that Skewer, and the Shockwave now being thrown out, kills off that bear. The bear does kill the Lone Druid, so the Lone Druid and the Storm Spirit will fall. So that's 2 kills going in favour of the Dire. 2 kills they desperately needed to be able to turn it back. The Doom will be able to get out of there. Dazzle is slowly returning to the fight, and now it looks like the Dire side will be wanting to take this Roshan. So, a hectic fight down into this river, never ending. Unfortunately, the Radiant side did give up that Roshan for a bit to try and chase down a hero. Then they went back into that pit, and the supports, as there wasn't too much levels on the side of the Dire side, respawn times were quick, came back in, and we're able to fight another day. And there's just a random Tengu on the ground, and this next assassin, he's going to pick it up. He wants to eat it. So Tengu's from Zetasi of that TA will be going in the favour of next assassin, and he's going to eat his way up. So he's just ninjaing that 170 gold laying around, 150 gold. He's going to be happily munch his way to victory. Over on the side of the Radiant, we have that Dazzle stacking up this creep cam. He unfortunately didn't make the stack then, or he was trying to fight it himself. Either way, there is partial double stack ready for whoever wants to pick that up. Most likely the Lone Druid or the Nature's Prophet, depending on who needs that gold the most. And over on the side, speaking of gold, we have Doom. 10k gold. He's got his Radiance, he's got his Midas. He's ridiculously out in front. Then we have the Nature's Prophet on that 8.5k gold. Lone Druid 6k, Dazzle, Carry Dazzle 5.5k gold. Then we have the TA with the Chen 5k, Storm Spirit quite far behind on 4.5. So Storm Spirit's been kept down with the rest of the dire side, which at the moment, that's not where you want to be. That's horrific. Magnus now moves ahead with that 4.8k, Shadow Shaman 3.5, and that next assassin at 3k gold. So that's 10k gold, 7.5k XP advantage for the Radiant side. This is looking like an extremely uphill, possibly need to be Superman battle for the dire side to be able to come back into this game. Nature's Prophet and that Lone Druid now pushing the bottom tower with the Shadow Shaman down, who does have wards up. If he does need to pop these wards, he might wait to hit that level 11 so he has level 2 of those wards. He does throw out that shock. He does now hit level 11, so he should level up his wards very shortly. The tower does go down. He still hasn't chosen to level up those wards if they do need to fight. And we do see a retreat coming out from that Nature's Prophet and Lone Druid. No need to stay around and possibly risk death when the other three heroes of the dire side are off the map. Templar Assassin now being shown due to this ward up top. And speaking of wards, the Radiant side still have some more good wards. They have watching the river, watching a little ramp, and then they're watching onto the jungle, onto that hard camp in case of there was any possible TA trying to farm there. They could easily jump them or come around and rotate in to wipe out that Templar Assassin. So good wardage coming out from both sides, being able to keep wards up the entire time. We do have this bottom ward about to run out very shortly. We got TP coming from Nature's Prophet trying to pick off that courier. He's not going to be able to get there. So Nature's Prophet trying to be all scumbag, trying to pick off that courier, not going to be able to find it. Magnus now does have that Blink Dagger up and running. He's had that for a bit. I believe he now has braces, so he needs that extra health and mana. With the Nature's Prophet rotating behind, maybe find a pick off on the Templar Assassin, not going to throw it out. He does have that Scythe up and running, so it's another fantastic item. We're going to jump in coming from this Templar Assassin with the rest of the side of the dire. We're going to Impale missing on that Dazzle, and we're going to RP onto the Doom, onto that Nature's Prophet. Skill back, Shockwave, will they fall? Hand of God coming out, keeping the side of the dire up and running. The Doom not being able to do too much damage. He will not be able to pick off that Magnus, so he'll fall. The H has been popped, so that's 2 dead on the side of the Radiant, 3 dead on the side of the Radiant, and now fantastic work by the dire being able to find those 3 pickoffs. Great heals coming up by that Chen, keeping up the rest of his team, keeping that Magnus alive of about 50 HP. So, fantastic work by the dire, trying to pull this game back in with the worth the 12k gold behind, 7k XP. Now they look to be grouping up to maybe push down this mid tower. There's 2 Ursa warriors already ready to cut this creep wave. Dazzle trying to do what he can. He's got to be careful. He's going to try and kill down these Ursas. Ursas do their claps. Heals up. But that heal's not enough with that mechanism behind the group. So this tier 2 tower looks to take a lot of damage. The spawns of the Radiant side will be up very shortly. Hex goes out with the wards. Dazzle is now been greatly hit. He's going to mech up. He's going to get out of there. We got the Templar Assassin jumping in with that refract charge. All refract charges are off, and Nature's Prophet is attacking down with that sprout. We got the support coming in. Shadow Shaman has fallen in the backlines. Next Assassin has banded up. He's got nowhere to do. He tries to go off that bed. Bear's going to fall with the meld coming up by the Templar Assassin. Doom onto the Chen. Chen will fall shortly after. So Liquid's going to be happily pick that up. Dazzle picks up the kill on the Templar Assassin. So carry Dazzle fighting for his life. We got the sprout coming out onto the next Assassin. Next Assassin does not have Carapace or any Vendetta. Throws out the Impale onto 2, but falls to Doom's Radiance and his Scorched Earth. So that's a 4-for-0 trade in favor of the Radiant. That was a very poor positioning by the dire. They had none of their abilities up. RP was down. Hand of God was down. They should have just backed, get off this tower, and wait for the next fight. They went for the towers. Once the spawns of the Radiant side came up, they continued to stay and fight around, and just fell shortly after. It's a little bit of misplay coming out of the side of the Dire side, and now they're going to be in a very defensive position. They have RP up, wards is down for another 30 seconds. This tower is looking like it will fall. Might see a shot coming out trying to do whatever damage it can. Got to be extremely careful. It doesn't get attacked by any of the sides of the Radiant, and the tier 2 tower will fall. RP onto 1, and on the bear. Shot coming out. Going to be very big trouble. The Weave's coming out, doing a lot of negative armor. Doom is taking a lot of damage. He's been shallow grave, so he's up for a few more seconds. Hand of God coming out, doing a lot of damage he can with that mech, and the Doom will fall shortly after. Lone Druid will get out with very minimal health. On that 400 health will be Tranquil Bridge shortly after, and they're looking for this Dazzle. Impale comes out, Shockwave, Skewer, and now we will see the death go into that Magnus. So that's 2 deaths going in favour of the Dire side. However, one was on the Doom, one was on the Dazzle. They did get a tier 2 tower for it, so was the trade worth it? It was about even. You can't really put it in both sides. They do get their map position, they do get an easier shot at Roshan, so the Dire side cannot push in on that Roshan when the Roshan does decide to spawn in 5 minutes time. Up at top lane we have Nature's Prophet farming away even more at 109 creep kills, 110. Doom sitting on 109. Look at the net worth. Doom is on 12k and Nature's Prophet on 11k. Lone Druid on 8, so he's fallen behind the rest of the other 2 carriers. Magnus and Temporal Assassin are trying hard to bring it back into this game. They're at 7k, both roughly 7k for both of those heroes. And Storm Spirit still lagging behind a bit on that 5.5k. Sheriff Shaman at 5.5, and Nyx Assassin on 4. So Nyx Assassin, he's got his arcane boots up, he's working towards those drums, so he's going to be picking up those drums very shortly, trying to get those cost efficient items for that strength and survivability in those fights, and that move speed aura for his team is very helpful at the best of times. Best and worst of times. Or the best of times. If you know that reference, I hate you. Nah, I've got nothing against The Simpsons. It's just not my thing. So, Nature's Prophet is going to be working towards his BKB with that Mithril Hammer picked up. He definitely needs it with the amount of disables on the side of the Dire side. They got an RP, Skewer Shockwave, a lot of magic damage actually on the side of the Dire with the Shadow Shaman Shock. He's got his Hex, Shackle. So there's a lot of CC on the side of the Dire if it can be pulled off. Magnus might be looking to be getting ganked here from the Storm Spirit and Dazzle. He picks up that double damage. Counter Revelation Ward is in the river, doing whatever it can to spot out any possible observer wards that were on the cliff. There may have been one, it may have been counter warded, I'm not sure, we missed out on that. Bears just scanning out where the heroes are. Little Chen creeps running around as if no idea where they should be at the moment. Coming back to me. I'm giving them some mana so they can be happy again. So, the Radiant side are looking to group up, trying to figure out their next position. We might not see a kill until this, might not see another fight until this Roshan's up and running. It's turned into a little bit of a passive farm game. Magnus farming up a bit. He's got his Blink Dagger braces, not too sure where he wants to rotate in next. He might go for that Restoration, might want to work for Shivers. So we'll see how he wants to go. We got Temporal Assassin, got her Blink Dagger up and running, got 2 Mithril Hammers, so be looking forward to picking up the move that reduces your armor. It looks like that. It's Desolator, that's the one. My god, forgetting about basic items. Welcome to Dota Yoshi, everyone. The land where he can't remember names. The guy who will forget you if he ever met you. Well, not the face, just your name. Even if you're my best friend of 6 years, I'll probably still forget your name. It's the way it works. Which is kind of disappointing. And then we're going to zip in from the Storm Spirit onto the Temporal Assassin. Temporal Assassin melts. Is there any Revelation? They do not currently have Revelation. And Temporal Assassin comes out of that meld. Very poor choice. And will fall shortly after. They had no Revelation. He could have just sat there. Decides to come out. And they find that pick off on that Temporal Assassin. This is an opportunity for the Dire side to either go around, wait for this Roshan will spawn in very shortly with that Temporal Assassin down. We got the Nyx Assassin walking around. We'll walk straight past this bear, and now he's like, oh shit. He puts into his van down and will be walking away. So the bear's trying to find him. Next assassin's trying to find that Nature's Prophet. He's not going to do it. He's now going in for it. Will he get the Vendetta? He gets the Vendetta. He Impale only hits on the bear, so he's going to be very short. With that Wrath of Nature Bounty Throw, he's not going to hit anyone. You'll have to be thrown onto the Spirit Bear. So Spirit Bear is just going to walk back to his master. And the rest of the raid side are coming down. They're looking to fight here. Possibly. Doom's like, oh, I don't know about this fella, so he's going to be walking around. He's got that stomp up and running if he does need to pull off. Never mind, he doesn't have that stomp up and run. He picks up the Sadire's orb and that health regen that the Sadire has on offer. Nature's Prophet's now on top lane. He's got something coming to him with Curry. He's got his full Desolator, so he's not going to work towards that BKB. He's picking up that Desolator for more damage. That could be a misplay coming out by Nature's Prophet, or it could be a fantastic play, allowing them to continue to snowball their lead. They're 14k gold ahead, over 7.5k XP, and the Roshan has now spawned. Chen's got those 2 Ursas and a Centaur, so it's a pretty good combination of creeps. Got that damage, got the slows, and he's got a stomp, if need be. So the side of the raid are walking around in Dire's jungle trying to find whatever they can. Anthony Lee still working towards his... Oh, I've lost it. Bloodstone. That's the one. So, has been working towards his Bloodstone for a while now. Quite late, but he has been kept down in farm. He's only at 7k gold. Doom is still accelerating his farm. He keeps accelerating. We've got a group up by the side of the Radiant team. Not sure where they want to go. They've blinked in. Blink's gone somewhere. And it's just going to get the visibility room, because that's very important. He's going to pop that invisibility. He's going to start trying to scout out where the Radiant side is. But the Radiant side have shown out that they're grouped in a group of 5. Dazzle's off to the side. Dazzle has been spotted by this Magnus. We might see a very good RP. He got an RP chance on 4. He's not going to take it. When an Impale, Minor coming out. RP is going to be ready. RP on 4, sorry. He hits on 4. Wards get popped. Shock gets popped. The Hand of God's been able to keep him all up. The mech is coming in from the God. We see it fall. We've got a triple kill coming out onto that Tempo Assassin. That's 4 death. Mech being popped. Keeping all alive. Doom's on the run. Doom gets thrown up into the air by that Your Scepter. He's trying to run. It gets hexed up by that Shadow Shaman. He's now been hit by the Impale. Mana burn shortly to follow. He's got no mana. He's going to be shackled, and he is now dead. So a fantastic fight by the side of the Dire. Fantastic RP on 4 with the wards and the shock to follow. Ursa stomps and the stun to hold him in place even longer. Dazzle's heals, not being able to throw, not being able to keep them all alive. And there was just fantastic play by the Dire. Unfortunate grouping on the side of the Radiant side. Dire taking advantage, picking off 4. So now we'll see a massive XP advantage swing on favour of the Radiant side. The gold still 12k, so they're not catching up in gold anytime soon. Still quite far behind. So now they will be attacking this tower. Slowly start working on gnawing it down. Easily be able to get this top tier 2 tower, mid tier 2's down. Templars just farming up those scripts, trying to push in this room. Might start working on this tower. He's not going. He's going to rotate bottom to get that bottom lane of creeps. And now the rest of the Dire side are going to be rotating around. Looks to be going down bottom to join up with this Templar Assassin to remove any tier 2 towers left. They might find a pick off in the storage. So we have a Hex. We see that Hex comes out. Shackle, it's been thrown. But this Radiant, the Dire side are just completely oblivious to everything that's happening. So Shadow Shaman's going to have to retreat there. And the rest of the Dire side, the rest of the Dire side will be rotating around to the bottom lane. And we got a TP coming in from the Nature's Prophet out of nowhere. He's completely blind, comes into the group, and he gets molested in the nicest way possible by those 2 Ursas and that Centaur. Storm Spirit just farm up a little bit of creeps. Next Assassin's going to spot him out with that ward on that cliff. This bottom tower has been glyphed, but it will fall shortly after. Templar Assassin throwing out all the damage with that Desolator. So the Dire side is trying to make their comeback. Doing a fantastic job at the moment, making sure to stay as a group of 5. They're going to smoke up. Where they're going to go. They're going to rotate into. They look to be going to the Roshan, so they'll make the smoking up, making sure if there were any wards here, they're not going to be shown off. And for that extra movement speed, it's 15% movement speed. So they're going to get to that Roshan, get it down before any of the heroes of the Radiant side can rotate into that jungle. Storm Spirit zipping all the way back to base. He now has his Bloodstone, so it's going to be more tanky, more mana, be able to throw out whatever he can. So this Roshan falling extremely fast to the side of the Dire. Dyer will kill it and pick it up onto this Temporal Assassin. I'm guessing there's some cheese on the ground. Who wants the cheese? Magnus will pick up the cheese, as he is always taking a lot of damage in these fights, being very close. So Chen's creeps spread out all over the place. Poor Centaur being thrown out with that poison touch, taking a bit of damage. Just more of an annoyance for him. And that Temporal Assassin and Magnus are looking for that pickoff, looking for anyone who wants to sit out of position. The Radiant side have now put a ward up here. They've got two defensive wards watching for any rotation from the side of the Dire. The Dire look to be going down bottom. Will they find the pickoff on the lone druid? The Doom did not throw out that Doom. RP on 2. We got the Sewer Shockwave. And we got a great pullback by the Stormshot. Great hand of God keeping that Magnus alive in time for him to pop that cheese. And another mech to keep everyone up and running. Now there's 2 dead on the side of the Radiant, the Doom and the Lone Druid. We'll jump in by the TA. Got to skewer out on the outside onto that Nature's Prophet and Dazzle. And a Shockwave come through, flying through, killing those final 2 creeps. They're going to be trying to push through this backdoor protection. Are they going to get the backdoor protection? The creeps are very far down the lane. The Chen, he steals one of the creeps in the lane to disable the backdoor protection. I just want to say thank you. I am fantastic at knowing that. If for those that don't know, if you steal one of the creeps from the enemy side and run them in behind these racks or even around the racks, it disables the backdoor protection. So then there's no backdoor protection. We're able to push it in. Chen hides the creep behind here so they can continue working on these racks. So that's 1 racks down. There's 20 seconds before the entire side of the Radiant side will be up and running. So they're going to rotate mid, see what they can find in mid lane. With shock with the Impale only hitting on 2 creeps. Fantastic Impale, Jim. So now they're going to be working on this mid Rex. We've got the Lone Druid and the Storm Spirit will be up and running. Doom's also up and running. They're going to be rotating in mid, see if they can defend the tower. So that's 3 against 5 at the moment. Hand of God's currently down. The Reverse Polarity is currently down. We've got this bit of a orb come flying through, the Shockwave. I'm going to call you Orb. Saying Shockwave, you think of Magnus. Sets another melee backstone. That's 2 racks down on side of the Radiant. The Dire are so far behind, but they've just pulled it back like that. They've, over the last 7 minutes, they've pulled back a 14k gold deficit to almost even it up. Now they're ahead by 10k XP. Those 2 fights, the fantastic fights down on bottom lane and in that mid lane, have pulled the Dire side back into this game. They're now ahead in creep kills. They've got the tokens still. Cheese has been used by that Magnus. And now, you look at the net worth. TA's now up inside between that Nature's Prophet and that Doom, being sandwiched. Bet she likes it. Chen on that 11k, carry Chen with the Shadow Shaman right behind him, trying to catch up on that farm. With Lone Druid on 10k, Magnus in on 9.3k. Storm Spirit not having a fun game at 7.3, Nyx Assassin at 7.3, and Dazzle at 6k. So Dazzle, he's falling behind. He's learned his spot. He's like, I better buy some wards. Buys the wards, and now he's falling behind in that gold. So, looking at the ward coverage on the map, there's only 1 aggressive ward by the Dire side, 2 defensive wards from the Radiant. So, there's not much vision on either side. So, but they do have the 2 racks for the Dire. So, they've evened this game out, they've picked up those 2 racks, they've earned a lot of gold, and they're back in this game. This Nature's Prophet, he's now got his Cypher Vice on, going along with that Desolator. Doom, he's got his Radiance, he's got his Heart, he's got his Ogre Club, and will be working towards that BKB. He needs that BKB badly. He keeps getting picked off, he's getting chain stunned, chain CC'd, and he's just being taken down over and over again. Chen, he's now got his Cypher Vice up and running. We'll be looking to find any pick off. He's got 2 Centaurs with him, missing that 3rd creep. Actually, speaking of that 3rd creep, he's got it down here on that melee creep, so it's disabled backdoor protection no matter what they want to do. But they're pushing in with creeps at the moment. Doom throws out that minus on one of those normal creeps. Didn't try to save it to pick off one of those Centaurs, so it's a little bit of a questionable minus right there. However, Nature's Prophet still got his minus up and running if he does want to take out one of these Centaurs. We got Crystallis picked up on that Magnus, trying to throw out any more damage. Would have liked to see an Arresto to keep the stun coming out on the side of the Radiant. However, Crystallis is going to help him throw out the damage as well. And this bear, shackled up, hexed, and it's going to be death. A lot of death. Both Centaur stunts were thrown out to hold him in possession. So we got Skewer, Shockwave, and the RP onto that one hero. Doom's going to get away with that shallow grave. We got the wards placed with the death onto that Dazzle. He doesn't have shockwave. He does throw out that heal. Not going to be able to do it. Hand of God come find out to keep everyone topped up on the side of the dive. They jump in, pick off the Nature's Prophet. Little piggy with that refraction coming around. Stormshirt's standing there like a man. He's going to fall shortly after, so he may have been a little bit late. He may have just given up on life. Doom is now going to be start picking it up. Doom's been thrown out on the Templar Assassin, but Templar Assassin's got that Aegis for another 30 seconds. So it's a great timing push by the side of the Dire to be able to get in before the token expires. And now the GGs are being called. So after being in a 14k deficit, being able to find those fantastic picks, and being able to use the aggression, they fought on the Roshan pit to be able to turn the game back around. Then they fought and took the fight to the side of the Radiant. The Radiant weren't able to use their advantage and to be able to keep pushing out. They still got aggressively pushed by the side. Actually, no, they were pushing out, but a fantastic RP turned that fight around, and that started the snowball of the Radiant team losing their advantage. So now we see Storm Spirit flying around in midair, having a little bit of fun. I mean, Storm Spirit, Shadow Demon, Shadow Shaman. That's the one I want to throw out. And now we've got Death everywhere. Magnus falls. Storm Spirit, not Storm Spirit, Doom trapped in the creeps. Doom will fall shortly after. Storm Spirit jumping backwards and forward. Buyback from Doom. Doom doesn't want to lose this. Buyback from Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman wants to come back into this fight, but he won't be back for a while. Now we just got waiting for this Ancient 2-4 as 3 racks are going to come down. Can we see the fight back from the Radiant be able to come back into this? I don't think so. 3 racks are down. They've fallen behind in XP by 17k XP and 7k gold. This doesn't look like a fight they can bring back. The Chen does fall shortly after to Chen and the Templar Assassin falls to that Doom, so Doom being able to pick up those 2 kills. So Templar Assassin's got her heart up and running. Her heart for me. I love you too, Templar Assassin. Nyx Assassin, he's got a Dagon picked up on him after all his farm. He's finally caught back up, but is completely out of position and does get picked off by the side of the Radiant. That just sums up the game of that Nyx Assassin being picked off in all those places, not having too much of a fun side. You look at the kills, deaths. Nyx Assassin 2 for 6, Lone Druid 2 for 6, Nature's Prophet 2 for 5. So the carries on the side of the Radiant weren't able to pick up those kills. Dazzle 6 for 7, not where you want your kills to have gone. Doom 9 for 6. So, and Templar Assassin and that Magnus being able to pull their weight, 10 for 5, 7 for 6. And we still look at the net worth, and the side of the Radiant still have that lead in retrospect on their carriers. However, they did not have the team fight sustainability or potential as the side of the Dire. Fantastic RPs, fantastic AoE damages, and great positioning with those wards. The CC were able to just eliminate the Radiant side, and this is what the game eventually led to, and that's why the Dire are ahead. Finding those pickoffs, not letting them get too far behind, and we're able to pull this game behind. This guy and myself are just relaxing in camp. I was trying to buy more couriers, how I could only just buy one ugly donkey. Look at my beautiful flying courier. I can't wait till we can customize our couriers. And now we got an RP on 2, wards popped, we got kills going out onto the Doom. Shadow Sun will fall shortly after that Storm Spirit. And will they find out any more kills? We got the Death going onto that Templar Assassin. And we got a lot of damage coming out by that Nature's Prophet. No hand of God by this noob Chen, who's trying to figure out why that courier is stuck on him. We got Zip in by the Storm Spirit, trying to kill off this Magnus. Will Magnus be able to survive here? He's going for the Ancient. He doesn't want to die here. Dazzle's trying to do whatever damage he can, and the Mega Creeps are forcing him off the line. They say no, back off, mate. And now Magnus coming back in. Storm Spirit zips in. He's being skewered. He doesn't find that kill onto that Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit is going to die to these creeps, so Magnus will get that creep, and the Ancient will fall. So a massive turnaround by the Radiant team. Oh, by the Dire team, being able to pull that game back into their favour and win it from some fantastic team fights. And that was my favourite game I ever played as Chen. So thank you for watching my very first ever shoutcast of my own game. So hopefully it wasn't too bad. You may have expected us to win, or may have expected us to lose. Hopefully, I can get games where I win and lose. If they're good enough. I just enjoyed that game, as that's my favorite game is Chen, and I think we deserve coming back after that. The Radiant team did do quite a few iffy calls, but who cares? I am happy with it. Anyway, thank you for watching another Dota Yoshi presentation, and